What's up guys, John here, and today I'm going to do another rare and expensive video games video for you guys. The last one I did pretty well, at least for my small channel. So I'm going to show you guys 10 rare and or expensive video games that you can't just find at your local game store and you can't really just go out and find online. A lot of these games, yes, you can go on eBay or you can go on Amazon, but be prepared to spend a bunch of money because if you want to do a buy it now on a $20 video game, eBay is going to charge you $50. So let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to start off with the PSP. The PSP is probably my favorite handheld system. I just love the graphical style of the PSP games, how they're slightly pixelated. I actually prefer it to the Vita, and the catalog of RPGs on the system is absolutely amazing. So we are going to start with a Wild Arms game that was released on the PSP, and that's Wild Arms XF. And you might be thinking, oh, I could just buy that at my local game store. Well, I don't know about you, but out here in Maryland, this game is extremely hard to find. As with any PSP game, they might not be super expensive, but trust me, these games are hard to find locally. And this game in particular, I mean, I remember I tried to find this game online, and I had trouble. I mean, there might have been a buy now for like $60 or $70. But waiting to find this game for $15 to $20 took me a long time. This is a really good strategy RPG in the Wild Arms universe. And it's good. It's got a hexagonal grid battle system. And yeah, it's a great game. Wild Arms XF for the PSP. Check it out. If you see this game, grab it. Okay, so my next game is probably my favorite PSP RPG out of all of them. And, you know, some of you guys might agree with me, you know, some of you might not, but we got Hexy's Force. Now, Hexy's Force is kind of like two games in one. You got two characters, you got Levant and you got Cecilia. I'll be honest with you, I haven't played Levant's story yet. I did a playthrough on Cecilia, and this is a really, really good, it's a turn-based RPG. This has like kind of like a crafting system where you can give weapons to, you can give and receive weapons from different characters in this game, which kind of makes it challenging when you beat the game. I actually had to look online and figure out who to give what weapon to beat the final boss. The music soundtrack in this game is incredible. I mean, I've gone on YouTube and pulled up the soundtrack on YouTube, and I've like bumped that shit in my car. So it's a really good game. I can't recommend it enough. It is climbing up there in price, so I wait to strike on this. I wouldn't wait to strike on it. I would get it as soon as you can. And that's Hexy's Force for the PSP. Check it out. Okay, now we are moving on to, I grabbed a PlayStation game just because I had to grab one PlayStation 1 game. It's one of my favorite systems of all time. And the one that I grabbed is one that I got from a friend at a local game store. He totally hooked it up. He pretty much threw it into like a big bundle of games that I got one day. And a lot of people, this is their favorite Castlevania game, and that is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about it. You guys have played this game. It's a great game, and it kind of has RPG elements in the game when you go through it. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, you guys have probably played it or emulated it, but Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation 1. Check it out. Alright. Now, this next game, it was released in Japan, and it was released in the United States. I'm sure it was released in PAL territories. It was released on multiple platforms, and I happen to have it for the PcEngine because the Sega CD version of this game, guys, is hundreds of dollars. I don't have the money. I am not a rich man. The only reason I have all these games is because I've bought them over the course of years and waited till I got a deal on them. Anyway, this is an amazing shooter, one of my favorites on the system, and that is Winds of Thunder. If you've ever played this on the Sega CD, it is called Lords of Thunder. That game is very rare, very expensive. It's one of the few shooters on the Sega CD. And this is yet one of the many shooters on the PcEngine. I do believe this game was also released in the United States on the TurboGrafx 16. Now, again, this is one of those games that has like an amazing soundtrack. If you guys like 80s hair metal or like that 80s heavy metal with the guitar riffs and stuff, you're really going to like this game. This is one of those games where you're like kind of like in like a mech suit and you're flying around. It's a shooter. And I can't say enough good things about this game. This game actually only cost me $40. I actually bought this online. Somebody posted it, and it's not a repro or anything like that. It is original. It's all there. I just got lucky. The disc, oh man, yeah, it's got a couple little scratches on it. Nothing crazy. Nothing to prevent it from playing. I just don't want to get it resurfaced. But yeah, can't recommend it enough. Winds of Thunder for the PcEngine. You got a PcEngine or a Duo R, this is a must-have on the system. Okay, so the next two games I'm going to show you are Dreamcast games, and they're very special Dreamcast games because they were released by the Neo Geo development team, or the NG dev team. I don't know if you guys have checked out any of their stuff. They got a website out. They actually have a game out that I really want to play, and it's only been released on the AES, and that's Ryzon. It's a spaceship shooter comparable to like R-Type or Polestar that looks incredible. I've seen videos on it. I really want to play it. So NG Dev Team, please release this game on the Dreamcast or something. I really want to play this game because I don't have AES money, and there's only one copy of that game I saw online, and it's like over $1,000. But anyway, so I got two games by the NG Dev Team for the Dreamcast, and the first game is Gunlord. This is like a run and gun game. It's pretty good. They released this game in limited quantities, and you can go on Etsy and buy like a repro of it, but I don't get down like that. I want my money to go to the developers, and that's where I got this game from when it released. Like I said, it's a run and gun. It's pretty good. It's similar to some of the run and guns, the few that were released for the Neo Geo. But yeah, it's a good game. It's not worth $100. But if you can find this for $40-50, I recommend it. And that's Gunlord for the Dreamcast. Check it out. Okay, so this next game is a shooter. It's got really cool cover art. I actually did a video on this game before. It's a really, really good game, just like all the other games I'm going to show you. And that is Fast Striker. It's funny, the artwork on the back right here, it kind of reminds me of a game that was released for the PcEngine and Turbo CD recently, independent release called FX Unit Yuki, which is an awesome game. I'll do a video on that game one day. But yeah, you know, I couldn't buy Ryzon, like I was just talking about. Ryzon is an AES game. It's like rare, it's limited release, it's a newer game that was released for the system. But this game is pretty similar to it, and that's actually how I found out about this game. And this is again from the Neo Geo dev team, and it's really good on the Dreamcast. If you can find it, it's probably going to run you between $50 and $70, and you're going to have to get it online. But I do recommend it at that price point. It's an awesome shooter, and that is Fast Striker for the Dreamcast. Check it out. Okay. Alright, I had to grab one Genesis game, and I just grabbed one that it's been actually growing in popularity over the past year. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it, and it does suck because I am missing the manual, but that is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. It's a decent platformer, you know. I don't have a ton of platformers, but I do have this one, and it's pretty good. And basically what you do in this game is you have to save children that are like trapped in the closet, and when you save these little girls that are trapped in the closet, they get into very weird positions in front of Michael Jackson where it looks like they're doing something to him with their mouth. I'm not going to say it, but it's pretty crazy. But it is a pretty good game with all the sexual jokes aside and stuff like that. You know, if you can find this game for under $100, I really don't recommend it at the $100 price point. I got this game super cheap because, like I said, it didn't come with a manual, and it was from a friend that runs my local retro game store. But yeah, if you can find this game under $60, I recommend it. You know, even if it's card only, you know, it's definitely worth playing. And that's Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis. Check it out. All right. So this next game, all right, I'm going to say this about this next game. This is by far my favorite RPG on the DS. I mean, this game is amazing. It's really cool if you can play this DS game on a 3DS XL to get like the bigger screen. And, you know, even if you have to emulate this game, you know, I ain't hating on you. This is an amazing game. It's hard to find. It is rare. And for anybody watching this video, I do have an extra copy of this game, cart only. If you're really, really interested, you know, let me know. I'll hook you up. You know, I'll throw it to you on the cheap. You know, karma, right? Anyway, this game's complete in box, and that is Super Robot Taisen OG Endless Frontier. And man, this game, look guys, let me tell you, this game is amazing. If you like Project Cross Zone 1 and 2, or if you liked Valkyrie Profile, whether you played it on the PS1 or the PSP, this is another turn-based, timing-based RPG. And just the way you combo the enemies with your attacks and your guns, and man, I wish they released this game on other systems. Now, I do have other games in the Robot Taisen series for the Game Boy Advance. They hail in comparison to this game. Guys, I strongly recommend, if you got a DS, if you're a fan of RPGs on the system, this is... If you haven't heard of this game and you own a DS and you like RPGs, shame on you. You don't need it complete. I mean, I got it with like the soundtrack and all that shit, but this is an amazing game. I cannot recommend it enough. Super Robot Taisen OG Endless Frontier. Do whatever you have to do to find this game. It is fucking amazing. Definitely check it out. It's a must-own on the system. Okay, so this next game is my favorite shooter on the Sega CD. I love this game from the day I found out about it. I had to own it. I actually paid $100 for this game, and in my opinion, it is absolutely worth it. Graphics good, sound good, just gameplay amazing. I love this game. And that is Android Assault. I think I've done a video on Android Assault. If you love shooters and you own a Sega CD, now there's not many shooters on that system, this is a must absolute have to own. I mean, I believe it's better than Robo Aleste, if you like the Aleste series. And then that is a good game, but I feel like this game is better. Man, I can't say enough good things about this game, guys. Android Assault on the Sega CD, and you know, I was lucky to get a complete copy. I mean, like I told you, I paid $100 for it. Didn't come with the foam brick. I know, right? But yeah, I strongly recommend this game if you like shooters or shmups. Android Assault on the Sega CD. Definitely check it out, even if you got to emulate it. Okay, so this last game, there's no rhyme or reason why I have this game as my last game on the list. It is expensive. I actually found this game not too terribly long ago at a convention. And this game goes for a few $100s. It's pretty good. It's a platformer, action RPG. I totally lucked out on this game. And I'll tell you what I paid for it here in a minute. And that is Popful Mail on the Sega CD. I didn't even pay this for it. This has a price sticker of $235. Yeah, it's complete, guys. Man, this game, oh my god, it's got the little foam. I forgot I had the foam brick in there. This is a really good action RPG. This was very early in the action RPG genre. And it's a platformer, and then it's got RPG elements, and you level up, and it's really good. I'm a really big fan of the animations in the Sega CD and Sega Saturn games that came out. Just the way that they're pixelated and the Japanese animation. I'm just a huge fan of it. And, you know, I'm close to 40 years old, so this really hits that nostalgic bell with me. I actually got this game for $150 at a convention, and the reason why is because there's a little bit of slight creasing in the manual right here. And I'll be honest with you guys, I do not give a shit about that. I'm just happy to own this game. It is complete. It's in pretty good condition. I mean, there's a little bit of creasing on the manual, but I don't care. I'm not a perfectionist. I do not care about that. But yeah, I got this game at an amazing deal. You know, I paid for this game what it goes for disc only online. So I was I was stoked about that when I found it. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you can. Like I said, it is pricey, but for whatever reason, if you run into this game for a deal, definitely check it out. It is worth your time, and that is Popful Mail on the Sega CD. Well, guys, those are just 10 games, 10 more games in my collection that are rare, valuable, and definitely climbing in price. Let me know in the comments section below, what are some of the games that are rare and valuable in your collection, I mean, you guys might turn me on to something I've never even heard of, and, that's what I love, me being as old as I am, playing games as long as I have, when I find out about a new amazing game on a retro system, I totally get my rocks off that way. I love it, and I love finding new games to play. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Guys, remember to like the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, guys, peace out.